I'm Attorney Taylor King. Hi, everybody. This is John Fanta with Fox Sports and the Big East Digital Network.
Hi, this is Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky with the Chicago Bulls, our flagship station, 670 The Score.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart at ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Washington Sports Digital Network.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to Rab Rogers Field. You all are in for a battle this afternoon, and not just any battle, the Battle of the Ravine to finish off the season at home for this Ouachita team. They will face off against the team across the street, the Henderson State Reddies. I'm Isaac Bourne, joined by Chris Babb, and today we'll have a doubleheader of games, obviously the one starting in just a few minutes at 1 o'clock and then following afterwards. And then tomorrow will be the either rubber match or the third game of the series. Coming into this one, let's look into the GAC standings. Both of these teams playing for a lot at this point in the season. Ouachita sitting at 6th in the conference, 18-12. They just picked up a big midweek win against Southern Arkansas, moving to an even 500 on the season. Meanwhile, Henderson State tied for 4th place in the conference. A win in this series would go a long way into moving them into the top 4 in the Great American Conference. And what a time to have this series, Chris. This is late in the season. We're going to be recognizing seniors at some point during this series as well. I really don't think that there's going to be any higher stakes time to have this rivalry series.
No, you're exactly right, Isaac. It's the end of the season. Last weekend in GAC play is rivalry weekend. All of the traditional rivals are playing each other, and that's the case here. It's two teams that are hot. You see on the screen the Henderson Reddies won 6 straight. They are coming off of a sweep. The hashtag FF7900026 Tigers are coming off of another sweep of Northwestern Oklahoma State. Henderson is the team leader in the conference in batting average. Ouachita's bats have gotten hot as of late. 8 of the last 10 games have seen the Tigers have 10 or more hits. This is a series between two teams that have already clinched a spot in Great American Conference tourney in Enid, Oklahoma in a week. But we saw those standings a while ago. They've clinched the spot, and really there's not a whole lot left there. The 6 Arkansas teams will be in the GAC tournament. After this weekend's games, we see that 2 Oklahoma schools will join. We've got the rest of the GAC schedule for the rest of the weekend. If we can pull that up, you see the rivalry series that are going on. Most games are Friday and Saturday. There is most teams you see there playing. Nobody playing Sunday. Rain in the forecast really forced these teams to move to Friday and Saturday. Nobody wants to play Monday for sure, since the conference tournament starts on Thursday, and everybody would like to not have to play on Sunday. So Friday, Saturday is. Most of them having half of them having double headers. 3 double headers today, 3 doubleheaders tomorrow in those series that are only playing 1 game today. It'll be a fun weekend of conference play. Harding and Southern Arkansas leading the pack in the top 2 in the conference. The rest are playing for seeding. But it is always fun when these two teams match up. And we'll see 2 teams, Henderson especially. Henderson likes to hit the ball, and they hit it well. Henderson with a team batting average of .308 on the season, batting over 300, leading the conference. Power also, 54 home runs coming into the weekend. Jeremy Shork with 16 home runs, Luke Farrow with 12, and Ouachita as a team only has 27. But some of those have come through the previous week, over the past week. So this could be a fun one. Chase Oberly, the thing that has kept Ouachita where they are right now in the Great American Conference at 18-12 is that it's the conference rotation. The starting pitchers have gone deep, and they've given the Tigers a lot of innings. Chase Oberly will get that start today.
Oberly 3rd in the Great American Conference in earned run average, 3.36 on the season. He'll be going up against the pitcher for Henderson, Ethan Rourke, with a 3.41 ERA. So two talented pitchers on the rubber today. Now, looking into both of these full starting lineups, we'll look first in the field for Ouachita. Looking in the infield at first base, it'll be Kendall Cassidy. Second base, it'll be Reese McWilliams. Third base will be Garrett Graham, and the man at shortstop will be Wesley Scott. Out in the outfield and right field, it'll be Gavin Jacobs. Center field, Isaac Nowell, and left field will be freshman Austin Gathright. The man behind the dish will be Joseph Bolin, and obviously your pitcher will be Chase Oberle. 4-4 on the season. This will make his 14th start of the year. And in a miraculous 80 1/3 innings pitched puts him at second in the Great American Conference. Now looking at this Henderson batting lineup. Leading off will be Luke Farah, followed up by Luke Rice and Jeremy Shork. Then behind them will be Dylan Block, Alex Galvin, Julio Vasquez, Trip Campbell, Nate Moore, and Cal Jones. Looking also at the Henderson lineup, Chris, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 hitters hitting over that 300 mark on the season. Dylan Block just 2 1,000ths under it.
Yeah,
like we mentioned, this is a good hitting team.
It is. You have 5 at 300. Then you have a 6th that's at 298 and a 7th that's at 291. Conversely, if you look at Ouachita, they have 2 over 300. Isaac Nowell at 355 and Wesley Scott at 325.
Now we'll set it to the intercom for the pregame prayer and the national anthem.
Father, thank you for this blessing with another day here in your kingdom, and we're also so grateful to you for giving us freedoms to enjoy things like this great game of baseball. Today we pray for the safety of the players and for a great spirit of sportsmanship, but above all, we pray that in all that we do, say, and think, that we glorify and honor you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Amen. I invite you to please remain standing as we honor America and those who serve it for the playing of our national anthem. With the national anthem completed just a few moments away from the beginning of the first game of this 3-game series. We already talked about the stakes of this rivalry. We already talked about the stakes of this series in conference play. But now looking forward a little bit more, you've got 2 seniors on this Ouachita batting lineup, 1 pitching today, Chase Oberle, the man on the mound, and then Reese McWilliams and Isaac Nowell. 3 guys for this Ouachita team that have been mainstays in the lineup all year, specifically Oberle. So obviously not as many seniors as last year, but what does this series mean to them?
Yeah, you know, it's a group of 6 seniors that they'll recognize tomorrow on Senior Day at 11:30. First pitch tomorrow set for noon, and Senior Day festivities will start at 11:30, and we'll be on the air for that. But you look at Chase Oberle right there on your screen. He's had a great 2 years at Ouachita. He's had a phenomenal effort last year, kind of came into his own, and then this year has really been phenomenal. Obviously, he's going to want to have a good final start at Rab Rogers Field. The only way that we'll play again at Rab Rogers Field after tomorrow is if Ouachita were to win the pod at the Great American Conference Tournament and then also be the higher seed. But so most likely this is Chase's last start. You see the 6'3", 190-pound senior. You went over his numbers a while ago, but 80 1/3 innings, 18 walks, 81 strikeouts. He has had a Great American Conference Pitcher of the Week award for some of his work, but it's an effort that he's going to want to have a good finale here at Rab Rogers Field, just like the other seniors. two others in the lineup, Reese McWilliams and Isaac Now. Isaac is one of the three of those seniors who've been here all 4 years, and so it's a lot of memories. Isaac and Andrew Cox have been a part of a couple of those regional teams, and so they have a lot of good memories here, and they're going to want to finish that strong. But it does start with Chase Oberly on the mound today as you face a potent Henderson lineup, and it starts with one of their most potent batters in Luke Farah. Luke Farah, who seems like he has been at Henderson for a long time. I was talking to some at Henderson the other day. I said, how long has Luke Farah been in this lineup? It's been a long time. He's one of 4 seniors in this Henderson lineup as well.
Farah coming into this one, batting .328 on the season, as Oberly puts that one low and outside.
Obviously, there are lots of other storylines that will come into play throughout the course of a weekend. When you have Ouachita and Henderson, you have families who have involvement in both. We'll talk about those as they come, but it's always fun to hear some of those stories that kind of have Ouachita and Henderson ties. Several of those throughout the lineup for both teams today.
Farah, he'll pop that one up into shallow center field. Now he's going to wave off his teammates and make the catch. Loses the cap on the way over, but able to make the grab in the sun. That's the first out of the inning for the Tigers, and Farah will head back to the dugout.
Luke Rice, second one of these seniors. He's one of those storylines that between Ouachita and Henderson's dad, Johnny, played basketball at Ouachita. He was here at Alumni Day during the winter when the basketball alumni came and had an event and recognized Coach Vining. Luke, a graduate of North Little Rock High School, where his dad, Johnny, was a basketball coach before he retired.
You see his stats there, 344 on the season. And he's going to foul that one off to the left side. Oberly, last time he took to the mound was in Game 1 of that Northwestern Oklahoma State series, where Oberly would pitch 8 1/3 innings, and then the Tigers had 2 relievers come in to finish off the Rangers in that first game. So you've got a guy in Oberly that doesn't just play well when he's feeling well, but also can go the distance. And like you said, like we saw last series, he's a guy that you can keep in for a majority and sometimes even the whole game.
Yeah, he's gone 8 innings multiple times this year. Trying to get a quick start against a powerful offense like Henderson has is key. Oberly has been able to do that. He's also been able to pitch in and out of some jams in the middle of games. Has really done a good job of keeping hitters off balance. That walk to strikeout ratio has been really good.
1-2 pitch. Cassidy able to get on top of it, and Oberly runs over to first and makes the catch. Great piece of fielding that time by first baseman Kendall Cassidy, and then he's able to make the throw over to the pitcher at first for the out.
Designated hitter Jeremy Short.
Right there, you just saw Rice thinking he put that one right in the gap, but then Kendall Cassidy able to dive to the ground, and just a great piece of effort there by the Tigers. Short. He's gonna get it right to Reese McWilliams. He'll make the catch, and that is the end of the frame. The Tigers go 3 for 3 on batters, and they're gonna head back to the plate after the break here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
For years, you've heard us say we'll be on your side, by your side.
I'm attorney Austin King. At Taylor King Law, we stand by that promise.
And I'm attorney Maggie King Davis. I'm proud to be a part of a team of dedicated professionals who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side when you need us most.
If you've been injured, contact the Taylor King Law Firm.
And we, and more, will be on your side, by your side.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Washita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
And welcome back to the Diamond here at Rap Rogers Field. There you see the man on the mound for the Reddies, Ethan Rourke. The senior right-handed pitcher. He's got a 3.41 ERA on the season and 1-0 in winning decisions. He's only pitched 29 innings, contrary to Oberle's 80 1/3, now 81 1/3 with that last inning. But this is a guy that has been a mainstay in this Henderson State lineup all season, and he's going to be the one to start off this series for the Reddies.
Yeah, Henderson has gone kind of pitching by committee, and if you look at Rourke's numbers, it'd be interesting to see how deep he goes in this game. This is his 11th appearance, but he's only pitched 29 innings, as you mentioned, so, average of just under 3 innings per outing. But we'll see how long Coach Cody Hooten decides to go with Rourke. And talking to him, he said it's a pitch by committee. They're going to have a starter in the wrong roster in Rodriguez, who's had 12 starts, 11 starts for Reese Weeks, but that third starter has been a pitch by committee, and today it's Rourke.
And Rourke, he'll deliver the strike right in the middle to Isaac Nowell. You see Nowell this season, he's the leader in batting average on this team, 355 on the year. Also with 7 home runs, he's one of 3 people in this Washita batting lineup that has made that feat.
And Isaac's been really hot lately. We mentioned the Tigers have had at least 10 hits in 8 of the last 10 games. Isaac Nowell has been one of those that kind of found his way at the plate. They're going to need that from Isaac, especially in this leadoff spot.
Nowell, and he's going to put it down right in between the gap. He's going to go for 2, and he will. The extra base hit for Nowell is brought to you by just a bit of a bobble that time by right fielder Trip Campbell.
Yeah, it was in the gap. Campbell in right field, and then the center fielder for Henderson, Nate Moore, both converged on the ball. I think Nowell was thinking 2 off the bat and trying to see if he could force something, and Campbell bobbled it in right field, and so it's a leadoff. I think they're going to give him a double on that instead of a single and an error.
Now up to the dish. Sophomore switch hitter Wesley Scott. On the season, Scott, he's also been one of those miraculous hitters for Washita. He's also hit that 7 home run mark for the Tigers, but also you might quite possibly see him batting from the other side of the dish if he needs to change the way he does it, depending on the type of pitcher on the mound.
It's a good start for Isaac. Talked to his grandfather last week. If you've been to Washita games, you know Isaac's grandfather has the camera, and he sits down in the shade down the first baseline. Told him we might try to come talk to him this weekend too.
And Rourke might lose the handle on that one. It'll go far to the outside.
He said, I said, how many pictures do you take with the camera? He said, I think somewhere around 1,000 pictures a game. So I was talking to him last week, and you just heard kind of like Dr. Cluck out there with his telescopic lens in center field.
Scotty's going to chip that off the backstop that time. But Chris, I totally understand some of those lenses. They really are the price of cars nowadays. I mean, what they can do and what they can capture is quite remarkable. 2-2 pitch. Scott once again just missed it off behind him. Guarding the plate now. He's got 2 strikes.
Good battle. It's a good battle between Rourke and Scott. Rourke, the big righty for for Henderson State. Really imposing out there. 6'4", 230, a junior from Flint, Texas.
Rourke and Scott, 2-2 pitch. And that one's going to go out of play. Scott tried to run it out.
Would have been a swinging bunt if it had stayed fair, and it would have been a tough play for Rourke, trying to throw over the top of Scott, who would have been running to first. But regardless, Scott will stand in there and do it again. Gets a little assist from Kendall Cassidy.
And Scott, known for his speed in the base paths, so he's not a guy that you can take your time with, especially when he's on the run. Still 2-2 count here. Scott back up at the plate. And Rourke, he's going to pummel Scott right on the side, and he's going to take a free base.
Yep, plunked him right on the right hip, and so it does set up the double play for Henderson State. So Rourke still in decent shape now. If he can roll one over and get to his infield to work for him, be able to kind of a twin killer would help kind of stop this rally. Kendall Cassidy has really been a big hitter, a hot bat for this Tiger lineup, and it's just happened in the last 3 weeks.
The lefty out of Burleson, Texas, really has jumped onto the scene for this Ouachita squad. You know, starting off the year as a southpaw pitcher, and now coming into his own as a hitter in this lineup, who also sometimes will get some midweek time up on the mound. He'll take that one on the inside corner for a strike.
You know, Cassidy, they're playing him, center fielder Moore is kind of playing him straight up, shading him to pull a little bit. Cassidy, we have seen him go opposite field in that left center field gap some too, or he could square around to bunt.
And he'll show the push bunt, but it's going to foul off to the left side.
That, I believe, of course, we haven't seen every at-bat that Cassidy's had. This is his 50th. He's had 49 at-bats, so I don't think I've seen Cassidy square around to bunt yet this time at home. So if you could have pushed that, gotten that one to land fair, the third baseman is playing awfully back, and they are playing him to pull in the infield.
And the 1-2 pitch is going to go high. And Cassidy, like we said, not a guy that you typically see bunt too often, but when you've got two guys on base and trying to move both of them into scoring position, Cassidy was trying that, but now here with 2 strikes, most likely will not. 2-2 pitch for Rourke. Swing and a miss, and Cassidy's going to head back to the dugout.
It was a good pitch by Rourke. I thought maybe they were set up inside since the defense was playing the pull. Rourke threw it to the outside part of the plate, and Cassidy could have gone the other way with it. There was a lot of room on that left side of the infield, but Rourke made a nice pitch when he had to. Now he's one ground ball away from getting out of this bottom of the first.
Batting cleanup now, right hand Garrett Graham. And Graham is the final one of these heavy hitters for Ouachita. He's got 6 home runs on the year. And Chris, one thing I like to always mention, Ouachita's got 3 players that have hit more than 1 home run this season, and those are all 3 guys in play right now for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's not been a power hitting team. 27 home runs on the season, 21 from Nowell, Scott, and Graham. And we talked about the big offensive numbers from Henderson earlier.
And Rourke, the breaking ball, is going to get loose to the outside. Two-one pitch. He's going to power that one to the shortstop. Double play opportunity for the Reddies, and they get it. Promising opportunity for Ouachita turns into a double play, and that'll send us to another break. Tigers get a hit on the board, but the game's still tied at 0-0 here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Ouachita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who's an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation, with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission, or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
Tigers back in the field as Henderson State will head back to the dish. Batting first in this inning for Henderson will be Dylan Block, followed up by Alex Galvin and Julio Vasquez. So far in this one, Ouachita leads the hitting battle 1-0. Henderson State was 0 for 3 last inning as Chase Oberly and the Ouachita defense was able to put them away fairly quickly and get through the top of a very strong hitting lineup.
Yeah, thanks to his defense, he had a hot shot line drive caught by Reese McWilliams at second to end the inning. That nice diving attempt by Kendall Cassidy and the nice cover by Oberly for the second out. Henderson making contact. He just went right to the Tigers in the field.
Now leading off here is Dylan Block, the native of Harrison, Arkansas. He'll miss on that one. Oberly delivers it right to the bottom outside corner.
That one showing 88 on our gun. That would had a little bit more velocity than we've seen. A quick 0-1 fastball to the bottom part of the zone gets Oberly ahead in the count quickly.
We've seen Oberly come with some heaters today. We've seen a 90 and a 91 mile per hour. Is that one? The delivery by Oberly.
Yeah, easy for you to say, huh? You thought of that one. You're ready to bust it out, and it just
wasn't ready for it.
No.
Just like that hitter was not ready for that pitch.
Yeah, Oberly did a nice job of setting him up. You could kind of see Bolin setting up on the outside part of the plate, and Oberly hit the spot and got the swing and miss.
Now up next, here's Alex Galvin. Leads this Henderson squad in batting average on the year with the 371.
371, 43 hits and 116 at-bats, 8 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers, 526 slugging percentage. This is a dangerous bat, and it comes midway through the lineup in the 5-hole.
The native of Texarkansas, Texas. I don't know if that's a town, but if it is, I'd like to go there. 1 ball, 1 strike here for Oberly.
I think the Arkansas people would like that.
Texarkansas?
Texarkansas instead of Texarkana. Get half of Texas and all of Arkansas in it.
And the breaking ball that time, a beauty, almost gets into the zone, but he'll watch it go by. The 3-1 count for Oberly. That one just a little too far inside. Senior on the mound. Swing and a miss. And so now we've got a full count.
Yeah, it's a big pitch from Oberly. Went upstairs. It was a fastball elevated, came in at 89. And so now you've got a battle between solid pitcher, solid hitter. The full count.
Payoff pitch. And he's going to pull that one down into foul territory. And now it's going to go back into play, so they'll have to throw it back out, before we continue play.
It was a nice pitch by Oberly, came inside with the fastball. Nice job by Galvin of fighting that one off and extending the at-bat to another pitch.
Oberly. And that's a backwards K for the senior. Galvin was making his steps over to first base, but the umpire is going to give Oberly the strikeout there, and now we've got 2 outs, both by strikeout here in the second inning.
Well, I thought as soon as it pitched, he was walking like he was walking back to the dugout. It looked like he knew he had gotten fooled, and then he tossed his bat, and I said, he thought that was ball 4, but Oberly got the call. Galvin looked back to the umpire to try to get an explanation, didn't get much. But regardless, Oberly won that battle.
Next up, the righty Julio Vasquez, the native of Ontario, Canada. I think it's a little bit different in Ontario, Canada than it is in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Wouldn't you say?
Never been there, but probably a safe bet.
Swing and a miss for Vasquez, and now Oberle on the verge of getting himself 3 strikeouts in 1 inning. And the breaking ball just a little low that time, below the zone.
Yeah, I think it was probably a hair outside too. Bolin set up on the outside part of the plate. Oberle started that breaking ball off in the middle. It broke away. That was a nice take by Vasquez.
Senior sets up. They're going to say Vasquez did get a tip on it, so he'll guard the plate and stay alive. Oberle on the verge of an immaculate inning here, 1 strikeout away. Misses on the outside.
I mean, I'd call it immaculate. The definition might not, but it'd be a pretty good inning if you strike out the side. Whew, that was close. So now Vasquez has done a nice job on the 0-2 count twice. He's been able to stick this one out and run it full.
Oberle to Vasquez, and he's going to swing and miss. Got way locked up on the inside, and that's going to retire the side. Ouachita heads back to the plate after Oberle delivers a beauty. 3 strikeouts here in the frame. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Ethan Rourke back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work for the Reddies as this game's still tied at none apiece here in the Battle of the Ravine. Leading off the inning for the Tigers, it's going to be the 5-hole Jackson Jester, followed up by Reese McWilliams and Austin Gathright.
Isaac, we mentioned that senior weekend. We'll celebrate Senior Day ceremonies tomorrow. Only 6 for the Tigers. Last week when Henderson had its senior day against Southwestern Oklahoma, they had to recognize 22 seniors on this Ready team. So it is a very, very experienced team. Both of these teams have reached NCAA tournament postseason play regularly over the last few years.
Jester, one of 3 freshmen in this starting lineup for the Tigers, joined by Austin Gathright and Gavin Jacobs. Just another testament to the youth this Ouachita team has is Jester. He's going to miss on that one.
You know, Ouachita had a lot of seniors last year and a lot of seniors who produced. And we've talked this year how they've had to work some new ones in. And you got 3 freshmen in the lineup, and you had to rely on some to step up. And the last part of the season, the Tigers have done that. They won their first midweek game of the season Tuesday against Southern Arkansas. Austin Bagnall came out and did great work out of the bullpen. But it's been the weekend starters that have really spurred this team on and had it where it stands right now, already having clinched a spot last week with that 18-12 record. Only a game apart in the GAC standings between these two teams. Henderson at 5th at 19-11, Ouachita 6th at 18-12.
Jester He's going to ground that one over the third base, and the throw is made. Good piece of fielding that time by third baseman Dylan Block.
Now batting second baseman, Reese McWilliams.
He'll be followed up by the second senior in this batting lineup for Ouachita, Reese McWilliams. On the season, he's batting .289. Native of Little Rock, just an hour up the road. And that breaking ball is going to break to the outside for a ball.
It is a toasty day here at Rab Rogers Field. Probably the warmest, wouldn't you say, possibly the warmest we've had yet, but we're glad that it's sunny. Obviously had to change the game schedule, and but we're glad that the rain got out of here last night, and looks like we should, emphasis on the should, be good for the remainder of the weekend today. 2 games and then 1 game at noon tomorrow.
It is sunny and 77, but the big one is the 76% humidity.
Yeah.
So there is moisture in the air, and you can definitely feel it.
Yes, it's a bit toasty, and these metal bleachers aren't very good absorbers of heat.
Here's Rourke, 2-2 pitch. And that one's going to go to the outside, so McWilliams looking down at another full count. Rourke delivering that one at 89 miles per hour, just could not find the zone. McWilliams, he'll tip it, but the catch is made by Julio Vasquez. And so now 2 outs on the board. Tigers looking to rally here with freshman Austin Gathright.
Left fielder, Austin Gathright.
And Gathright, another one of these pleasant surprises for Ouachita this season, has made himself a mainstay in this lineup, particularly because of his fielding and also his hitting prowess. 280 on the year, along with 23 hits. And just barely is going to foul it off down the third base line. If that one would have just been a shy more past the third base line, then it would have been fair. A 0-1 pitch here for Rourke. Gathright really liking the foul off on the left side.
You know, they're playing Gathright very shallow left field and center field, shading him towards the left field. I mean, very shallow. I don't know if they're trying to bait him into trying to hit it that way, to force something. But if he's able to do one of 2 things, he would have extra bases. One, if you put a line drive in either gap, he would have extra bases, because the outfielders for Henderson State are playing almost halfway between the outfield dirt and the warning track.
And that's the backwards K for Rourke, and that's going to send us to another break. Tigers go 0 for 3 in the inning, and the game's still tied at none apiece here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia, or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
First half of the doubleheader, we're here in the third inning as the Tigers take back onto the defensive side. Chase Oberly here for his third inning of work as well. He'll be facing off against, first off, number 21, Trip Campbell, the Arkadelphia native.
Good to see Tripp's mom and dad. There you see the gentleman in the Henderson shirt just between Oberly and Tripp. That's his father, Chris Campbell. Mom beside him, Sandy. Good to see Chris. Obviously, with Tripp being from Arkadelphia, this is one of those things where you have ties on both sides of the street. This is the first time I've ever seen Tripp play in a uniform that I or my son wasn't wearing at the same time. Coach Tripp since he was about 6 or 7. A lot of baseball, and so it's just one of those neat situations, another one of those stories that happens a lot in this Ouachita-Henderson rivalry.
1-1 pitch, Oberly. Campbell swing and a miss.
Redshirt freshman has gotten a lot of ABs this year and started several games. Does have a few strikeouts to his name, though. Does have 3 home runs, and that is a nice breaking ball and the backdoor breaker from Chase Oberly. He came inside and had Campbell off balance a little bit. Then he went with a backdoor breaking ball and got enough of the plate to get the called strike 3.
So after that, that's 4 straight strikeouts for Oberly, and he'll face off against the 8-hole Nate Moore. 288 on the year. We'll see what Oberly does. And puts the fastball right down the middle. 88 miles per hour is the heater.
You know, a lot of times when you see a pitcher go, you say, are you going to get the good chase or the bad chase? You know, are you going to have a good game? There's another one from Texarkana. Sorry, our one who typed in our graphics had a typo on the first Texarkana, and it just carried over to the rest of them. But I don't know if we've seen anything other than good chase all year, and this is a tremendous effort so far from Chase Oberly.
Moore, he's going to foul it off of himself, so umpire, he'll give him a bit of time, but I mean, he looks ready to go. Moore steps back into the box. Still 0-2 count. Moore needing to battle out of a hole here. And Oberly looking to bait him into the swing that time, but it's going to go a little high and outside. Moore, he'll make contact with it and get it right through the gap for a base hit. That's the first of the game for Henderson.
Yeah.
And Moore will take one.
Right under the glove of Garrett Graham at third, and just a seeing eye single from Moore gets Henderson its first base runner. It's a nice pitch by Oberly, but it's a nice job by Moore of just turning it over, finding a hole, and managing to get on base.
Now here's the 9-hole, Cal Jones. Jones batting .310 on the year. This guy, he is from Texarkana, Texas, but don't think I know a Cale Jones. Oberly checking over on Moore. You look at Moore on the season, he's 2 for 3 on stolen base attempts. Oberly 0-1 pitch. And he's going to bunt off to the left side. Graham, that one hits the dirt but cannot get there in time. Great effort on the push bunt that time by Henderson State's Cal Jones.
That's what you get for calling somebody out for a typo. Then you say the wrong name. You know, Jones from the, bunted that one down the third base line and used his speed to get it. It's a nice play by Graham. He fielded it on the run, made a strong throw over to Cassidy. He pulled him off the bag, but it wouldn't have been there anyway. Cassidy did a nice job of blocking it, and Ouachita also did a nice job of getting someone over there to cover third base to keep the runner at second.
Lineup turning over now. Here's Luke Farah. native of Calhoun, Louisiana.
This is where Henderson has been successful this year. When you get things going, you get runners at first and second, and trying to get runners through. Oberly is in the same spot, a similar spot that Rourke was in the first inning. You have first and second. Henderson's trying to put something together, but if you can throw one and force Farrah to roll over on one and hit a ground ball, you could possibly get out of this with a double play.
One out on the board for the Tigers. Oberly some speed on the pitch, but can't get it in the zone. 91 miles per hour goes low. Three-one pitch. And that one will go outside. Oberly will load the bases after the free send to first base.
Now's where you really have to be careful with this. And Luke Rice only with 4 home runs, but he does have 36 RBI in the season. A base hit would obviously give Henderson a lead, possibly could score 2 with a well-placed ball with speed at second base in Cal Jones.
Rice, he's going to foul that one off in front of him.
That one caught a piece of Joseph Boland, so home plate umpire will walk out to Oberly and let Boland walk that one off.
Oberly, he's had himself in pinches like this before this season, and he's been able to get out of them. We'll see here what he can do. Just 1 out on the board, so Henderson stayed a little bit of breathing room.
Graham and Cassidy are playing in on the corners. Double play depth up the middle, slightly to pull.
Rice, that one goes high off to the outside and into foul territory.
Not as big here at Rab Rogers Field as it is at Clyde Berry Field. It's only 330 down the lines here, 340 down the lines at across the street.
And Oberly locks him up on the inside. And that's 2 strikeouts in the inning. He's looking for a third.
That's a big one. He came inside. Rice tried to pull that one, and Oberly won that battle. It's a battle he needed to win. Still got to win another one, though. And still, even though you get the strikeout, you still got to come up. And Shork definitely has power with 16 home runs on the season.
He'll foul that one off right in front of him again. On the season, Shork second in the GAC in home runs, trailing only Wesley Mitchell from Southeastern Oklahoma State.
He leads the conference in RBIs in 52. '53, sorry. There's one behind him from UAM at 52.
And Oberly, he'll step off.
Yeah, Nate Moore's at third. He's getting a significant lead, trying to play with Oberly. Garrett Graham's not going to hold him on. Now Coach Howard's going to come out and talk to Boland and Oberly. You know, if I'm a third base runner trying to get in the head of the pitcher, I can take a huge lead, especially if that third baseman is not holding on, because you're not going to. You need the third out. Coach Howard's going to call the entire infield in and just make sure that everybody's on the same page with this. Coach Cody Hooten at third base talking to Nate Moore. Head coach Cody Hooten for Henderson in his 15th season. He's the third base coach. Alan Hall's the assistant coach and recruiting coordinator. Hayden Simpson is the pitching coach. Simpson graduated from Southern Arkansas, played a little bit in the Cubs organization. Ouachita led by head coach Luke Howard in his 7th season, pitching coach and recruiting coordinator Dave Brown, and assistant coach Bo Burson.
And after that break, Howard, he'll head back to the dugout. Obviously, this isn't as much about Oberly and his pitching as it is about just the infield situation, especially when you've got Moore leading off third base heavily.
And they are playing short to pull. Wesley Scott at shortstop is playing behind the bag at second base. He'll probably retreat a little bit, but they're going to come in and try to see if they could catch the runner at second sleeping. That was Kyle Jones. He does get back. Wesley Scott, you see there on your screen, he's the shortstop playing directly behind the bag. Reese McWilliams is in shallow right field, definitely playing short to pull.
And the breaking ball for Oberle, he's going to deliver that one right through the zone.
Outfield is the same. Isaac now shading heavily towards right field. Left fielder Gathright is playing in left center field.
0-2 pitch. Shork, he'll pull that one into foul territory on the right side.
Definitely pulled that one. You know, analytics has come such a big part of the game. Both of these teams use the same scouting service, and they're able to pull the infield hits, what percent go to what field, and you see the defensive alignment reflecting that.
That one will go high for Oberle. Tigers 1 strike away from retiring the side, leaving 3 runners on base. And that's what he'll do. Oberle delivers it right in the bottom inside corner, and the Tigers get out of a pinch. We're still tied at none apiece here from Rab Rogers Field on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia, call Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
And welcome back to beautiful Rab Rogers Field. You see the drone shot of the stage of play today. The grass is green and the sky is blue. Just a few clouds around the area here in Arkadelphia, Arkansas for a beautiful sunny day. The rain holding up for this afternoon, and then tomorrow hoping for no rain as well for the third game in the series. But here's Joseph Bolin. He'll start off the inning for the Tigers.
Man, that's a good-looking shot of Rab Rogers Field, Cliff Harris Stadium in the background. Our Gavin Wallace getting his pilot's license, putting his remote pilot license to use. Beautiful day. Weren't sure if we were going to be able to have a shot like that because we thought this weekend it was going to be, cloudy and stormy, and thankfully you did get a little bit of rain last night. They didn't tarp the field. And it's the 1-0 pitch to Bolin, swing and a miss. Talking to Coach Howard today, I called him. I said, well, did you sleep good last night? He said, only after the thunder stopped. He said, we didn't tarp because they redid the infield. They did a lot of work on the infield over the summer so it can hold a lot of water, and it needs water. He said, so we were looking. We didn't tarp it. He said, it's actually kind of dry this morning. He said, but, man, I wasn't sleeping good until that thunder stopped and the rain got through. On the other side of the field, Cody Hooten doesn't have to worry anything about the grass because they're turf over at Clydeberry Field. But it does look good. The weather is beautiful today. Not very windy, which lets us get the bird up in the air.
1-2 pitch. Bolin, he'll get a piece of it, foul it off behind him. Joseph Bolin this season, a very big part of this Ouachita infield at the catcher position. Batting below the Mendoza line, probably not something he would particularly like, but he has come in big positions for the Tigers this year.
Yeah, he had the game-winning RBI that really helped the Tigers in a conference series, and he's able to play right field catcher. He stepped in Obviously, he didn't start the season at catcher. The young man that's the first base coach right now for Ouachita, Octavio Mendeville, was the starting catcher to begin the season. Took a fastball off the hand in the first weekend of the conference season and just got cleared earlier this week.
Bolin, he's going to get that one down right in center field. And so give him a hit to start off his tenure today to tie up the hit battle at 2 apiece.
Yeah, it's just a good at-bat from Joseph Bolin. Had to protect, didn't try to do too much with it, just went right back up the middle, and it didn't hang up enough to be able to be caught in center field by Nate Moore. You could kind of tell he wasn't sure if it was going to get to him or not. Then he decided he's going to have to hold off and make sure it didn't get past him and limit Bolin to a single. But glad to see Joseph Bolin get that base hit. You mentioned he struggled at the plate some this year, has come up in some big spots, but he's been a team player and came back. He was caught last year, came back behind the dish this year when Mendeville got hurt and has done a nice job.
And Rourke being very safe with Bolin there over on first. But the man...
And it would be Bolin's first stolen base if he were to swipe one.
The man in the box right now for Ouachita, also someone else who spent some time at the catcher position, is Gavin Jacobs. Today he's in the right field, but him and Bolin have swapped spots at different times this year. Jacobs typically more of a midweek catcher, as he's going to put that one high and be almost beyond the outfield wall. It is going to hit it. Bolin's going to go for home. And it looks like right there, they're going to hold him up at third. He wanted that score, but that's a great call by the third base coach to keep him there and put 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Bolin was got a good read off that. Nice piece of hitting by Gavin Jacobs. Put that one. We talked a little bit about Henderson's outfielders have been playing a little bit shallow, and that one got over the head of the center fielder. Bolin got a good read on it. He was running. Coach Burson was waving him around, and then he put up the stop sign because the relay was caught. It was in shallow center field, but the relay was caught cleanly. And so I don't think that's a terrible holdup by Burson there, because you don't want to get that first out at home, especially since you're turning the lineup back over to the top of the order, and Isaac Now, who got a hit his last time up.
Like we mentioned, Now, after that last hit, up to .359 on the season in his batting average.
Well, that was a nice job by the Henderson catcher. Vasquez had to come across his body. That breaking ball got away from Rourke. Vasquez had to come across his body and backhand that one in the left-handed batter's box.
Now,
foul.
He's going to dink that one off to the right side.
Now with the foul.
Now with the foul.
There is a pitcher warming up in the Henderson bullpen. We mentioned Rourke has 10 appearances, only 29 innings. And so interesting to see, how long they want to go with him. Is he kind of a nice pitch there, breaking ball, started inside and broke over the plate to get ahead in the count 1-2. But, was he kind of an opener today? Was he going to kind of see how long he could go? And then if he got in trouble, but there is a lefty warming up in the pen. We'll try to read the number off that reliever if we can.
2 straight hits for Ouachita. Now looking to make it a trio, but instead he's going to strike out swinging and head back to the dugout.
It's a nice pitch by Rourke in a spot when he needed it. We've seen Rourke and Oberle deliver when they need to so far. Oberle got out of the bases loaded jam, and now Rourke kind of finds himself in similar, although not as friendly to a pitcher because there's not the place of a 6-4-3 double play or something, but big spot here for Wesley Scott.
Swing and a miss for Scott. Looked like he was going for the fences that time, but can't put a bat on the ball. Rourke, he's going to find the zone in the bottom corner.
The pitcher has gotten the strike call in the lower part of the zone, and today both pitchers have, and Rourke got that one.
And guarding the plate well that time, Scott. He'll keep himself alive. No balls in the count. Oh, 2 pitch. Scott, he's going to get tagged out.
That's a nice job by Luke Rice of fielding the ball. Bolin was breaking, so Rice came and pump faked to send Bolin back to third, and then he did a nice job of tagging Wesley Scott. Now, I think on the tag, he was kind of clipped in the face. Not sure if it was by a shoulder, a cleat, or what it was, but the trainers are out to look at Luke Rice. Looks like they're trying to clean up some blood. But that was a nice play. Nice play by Luke Rice to field that one on one hop. Able to freeze Bolin. There was nobody over at third, so Bolin was able to get back. But when Rice saw that he was not going to be able to make the throw over, he was able to race and hurry and tag Wesley Scott before he touched first base. Huge play for Henderson. Huge play for Rourke to get the pitch, and then Rice to make the play. And now Henderson is 1 pitch away from getting it off. There you see, it looked like it was the cleat. That's a nice job by our crew right there. You see it in slow motion here as he dove. It looked like it was the right foot that caught Luke Rice in the face there. You'll see it on your screen here in a second. Super slow-mo, don't know. Yep.
And credit to the Ouachita and Henderson State athletic training staff there, as a mighty dangerous injury. Wesley Scott putting those legs right into his face. I mean, the speed of Scott, you thought there maybe for a second he brought his speed right into Rice, but yeah, there you see maybe some spikes going into his face.
Yeah, he dove towards first base. Rice dove at probably the torso to try to get the tag, and therefore the momentum and laws of physics had Rice's face about the same time when Scott's spike was, and so hopefully they'll be able to get him stopped bleeding so he can get back on the field.
And while they're tending to Rice's injuries, we're going to send it to a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
At Berry & Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
And thank you for your patience after the break. Still tending to Rice's injury, but we'll look a little bit into this game and how it's gone so far. Still tied. No team able to score so far. Henderson State, though, has put together some good runs. So has Ouachita. And now the Tigers right now in a good position to score, but with 2 outs on the board.
Yeah, both teams have had their opportunities. Chase Oberle was able to escape a bases loaded. I believe there was 1 out. I think he got 2 outs in a row, and Henderson tried to play the little mind games on the bases. Coach Howard called time, came out, got everybody on the same spot, same page, and Oberle was able to get the strikeout. And now Ouachita had second and third with nobody out, and Henderson has been able to get 2 outs, 1 with a strikeout, Rourke striking out Isaac Nowell, and then Luke Rice with a great play as the infield was in. Second and third with 1 out, infield was in. Anything to the right side, you think if you're a runner, you're probably going to be able to score, so Bolin broke for home. Rice did a nice job of making the stop, and then he froze Bolin, forced Bolin to go back to third, and that's when we ended up where we are now, when Rice went to dive at Wesley Scott and make the tag, which was successful, and Scott's out. For the second out, the momentum and the timing had Rice's face about the same time when Wesley Scott's spikes were coming by, and I think that's probably what caught Luke Rice in the face, and that's what the athletic trainers from both teams are working on right now. Our Ouachita head coach Luke Howard over there with head coach Cody Hooten, the Henderson assistants, and some of Rice's teammates. At some point, I would imagine also that since this has been such a delay, they'll let Ethan Rourke get a couple of warm-up pitches, obviously not because of the temperature, but just because of the delay. When you get back to action, we will have second and third with 2 outs now, so Rourke will be 1 pitch from getting out. You see him kind of loosening his arm there, and it looks like we are about ready as some of the players look at the catcher, Vasquez and Rourke over there. Nice. Luke Rice takes a sip of water, tosses the rest, gets a nice hand, and he'll put the cap on the head and get back out there. Good to see that Luke Rice is able to stay out there. He's got a bandage on his right cheek, and that looks about where the when we saw the replay before the break, it looks about where the spike caught Rice. And you could tell as soon as it happened, he looked over at the dugout and started pointing. He knew that he had had some contact with Wesley Scott's shoe. But a nice hand from the fans in attendance. Rice gets the tape loose, tightened back on his wrist, tears some of it off. He's ready to go, and now Ouachita back to action. It's a big spot, early in the first third of the game, here in the bottom of the third, but Ouachita had some momentum. 2 defensive stops for Henderson. Rourke is going to try to strand 2 more runners.
Cassidy will take that one low. And Chris, one thing we haven't really talked about so far has been the performance of these 2 pitchers. Oberle, 6 strikeouts, and Rourke, he's got 4 of his own as well. So 2 pitchers today that have really brought their best, and that's what's really been the X factor in keeping both of these teams scoreless so far.
Right, and being able to get out of a jam. Both of them have been able to get out of a jam to this point. Rourke still has 1 out to get. But, yes, you're right. Both of them have really been effective on the mound thus far.
And Rourke puts the 2-0 pitch on the outside. And so now 3-0 position here. Rourke with the get-me-over pitch. And that one's going to go high for some chin music on Kendall Cassidy. And so now bases loaded for Ouachita, 2 outs. Things can't get more full as the count turns over.
Graham batting .291 on the season. He is one of those 3 Tigers tied for the team lead with 7 home runs. Trying to get the first run across for either team. Oh, nice breaking ball.
And even if he didn't check his swing, that one does go in the zone for a strike.
I think he wanted it and then held off and said, "Oh, I shouldn't have checked my swing on that one." Good pitch from Rourke to get started.
That one will go to the outside. Tigers find themselves in a similar position that they were in on defense just an inning ago. Graham, he'll poke that one into foul territory on the right side.
This Henderson dugout will get loud if Rourke's able to get out of this one, just like the Ouachita did in the top of the third.
1-2 pitch. And that's exactly what he did. Chris, you called it there. Tigers unable to score, and Rourke gets himself out of a jam. Still tied at 0 here from Rab Rogers Field in the Battle of the Ravine on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Chase Oberly back on the mound for inning number 4 of work for him today. And so far, him and Ethan Rourke in a pitcher's duel, still tied at 0 apiece for either team. And Oberly, he'll see the cleanup hitter for Henderson State first, Dylan Block, followed by Alex Galvin and Julio Vasquez.
Isaac, we've talked about the pitchers. We've talked about Oberly going deep into several recent games. We talked about not sure about Ethan Rourke. We mentioned 29 innings in those 11 appearances, but his last 4 outings, he's gone 6 innings last week against Southwestern and then 4 2/3 each of the previous 3 outings. So his outings have gotten longer over the last 4 weeks. I know that the rotation has been different. They did have an injury in that pitching rotation. So Rourke went 6 last week against Southwestern, and so the longer he can go, the more it helps Henderson and the more it helps them in games 2 and 3 as well.
Breaking ball for Oberly, catches the top of the zone.
Yeah, caught him on the sleeve. It was a 1-1 pitch. I don't think Block liked the strike call, and he was close to not getting in the box soon enough. We don't see that very often. You see the umpires kind of give a little bit of leeway, and then Block stood in there. The first pitch was inside and high, and that one was just a little bit more inside and caught the sleeve of the left arm of Dylan Block. So the leadoff runner's on for the Reddies.
Here's Alex Galvin.
So just as easy as the first 2 innings were for Chase Oberly, he's had to pitch in some stressful ABs in the 3rd inning, and then it's going to shape up probably be that way early in this inning if he can try to pitch a ground ball here to get back even.
Last time Oberly saw Galvin, it was a strikeout, one of 6 that Oberly's picked up today. Oberly up to 53 pitches at the start of this count, now up to 55. And the bunt, Oberly's going to make the out at first base, but that does advance the runner to second. Great effort that time on the drag bunt to send a runner into scoring position for Henderson State.
Now batting the catcher, Julio Vasquez.
Yep, Galvin, leading batter as far as average on the team, but Coach Hooten asking him to do a job to get a runner in scoring position. He does that, pulling the bunt right down the first base line, and so now Henderson State with a runner in scoring position for the 2nd straight inning.
Henderson finding themselves in a different type of battle than they find themselves usually in these Great American Conference games. We talked about how well they've been off their bats this season, but we're into the 4th inning and only 5 combined hits between both teams. I mean, they've found positions that have been advantageous for them, but still no scores for either team. And Henderson holding well with the Tigers so far.
And vice versa. This is if you look at this is a matchup of can good pitching and good defense beat good hitting, because that's kind of what you have on the Ouachita. You've got Chase Oberly has been solid on the mound, and Henderson has scored a lot of runs this year.
Oberly, 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball finds the top of the zone. One away from picking up strikeout number 7. And the high heater, just a little too high for Oberly.
I think Vasquez was waiting, am I going to get rung up or not? He got the benefit on that one. It was very close.
And that's lucky number 7 for Chase Oberly. Strikeout swinging that time for Vasquez, and so now 1 out away are the Tigers from retiring the side.
The bottom just dropped out of that. He swung right over the top of it. It was a nice breaking ball that came in and just dropped, and Vasquez swung right over the top of it. RBI opportunity for Trip Campbell. They play him to pull in the outfield.
Campbell struck out last time he was at the dish.
Lots of room on the left side. Reese McWilliams playing in the grass at second deep. Cassidy deep at first.
He'll swing on it and can't make contact that time, so Oberly will find his first strike in the count. And the breaking ball lofts down into the zone. And the beauty for Oberly puts himself in a good position here.
It was a good take by Campbell. Went outside. Oberly took his eyes outside on the previous breaking ball, came right back inside. It was just too far in the zone, and so now a full count after Campbell takes on that inside pitch.
Payoff pitch. And just too far on the inside. Oberly can't find the zone, and he'll walk his second of the game. Two runners on base for Henderson. Now here's Nate Moore. A hit for him here would allow him to exceed that 300 average on the season, batting .299 going into this at-bat. He'll make contact with it and foul it off to the left side.
Come on.
O2 pitch, tried to go upstairs to see if he could get him to chase, but that was just a little bit too far upstairs to garner a swing.
Seat up, baby. Seat up. Come now.
Oberly, 1-2 pitch here. Just missed it that time. He'll foul it off behind him.
It's a nice pitch by Oberly because he was going to get a swing. You know, that was too close for the batter Moore to lay off of, but it was also a pitch that he probably couldn't do much with. Had to foul that one back off to the net.
Moore, he'll check his swing. They're going to say he didn't.
They didn't even appeal. They did not. Yeah, I'm sorry, Isaac. Bolin asked to appeal, but the home plate umpire didn't even ask for an appeal, and Coach Hooten is coming out, and he's frustrated, and rightly so. He did not. He didn't ask for help. I saw that in a major league game the other day, that the home plate umpire didn't ask for help. He rang him up, and Coach Hooten is upset.
Hooten absolutely livid as we send it to a break. Well, actually, we're going to stay here and look at this conversation just for a little bit. I mean, you see, Coach, and you see that call, and not typically do you see the umpire not refer to one of his line umpires.
Yeah,
instead,
that head coach is and he's going to give him some line too, because Coach Hooten is upset, and rightly so. I think any head coach would have been. I expected Bolin. Bolin came up and pointed and said, "Can we get an appeal?" But then I saw him tag and run off the field and said the umpire had said it was a swing.
And so with that, we're going to take a quick break before we come back for the bottom of the fourth here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight.
And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Jackson Jester set for a trip to the plate here, and he'll face off against Ethan Rourke, now in his 4th inning of work. There are some pitchers in the Henderson State bullpen walking around, not really getting any throws so far. But
yeah, when Ouachita had the bases loaded, or the 2nd and 3rd with nobody out, they did start getting a pitcher going. But Rourke was able to respond and shut that kind of mini threat down, and they stopped throwing. And that's when we were looking at, he's gone 4 2/3, 3 of the last 4, and then his last outing was 6. And so the majority of his innings have been in his last 4 outings.
And that one fouling off looked to be very near to my car. We're going to hope and pray that the old Mazda is all right over there.
Don't get distracted thinking about it. Why'd you park there if it's even close?
That's Jester. He's going to take that one low.
You're distracted. You're just wondering if you have a busted-out windshield right now. Is that your car or is that Dad's car? It's yours. It's Dad's old one. Yeah, you are. You're worried about that.
Jester, that one's going to go right to the pitcher, and Rourke, he'll make the play. Bobbled it for a second, but had enough time to collect himself and make the throw to first.
Did a nice job. If you're a pitcher, you're like, the worst thing you can have is a hot shot right back at you. He bobbled it, but he did a nice job of gathering his composure. The throw over to first might have been a little bit too much of a loft. Made it a little bit closer, but he did indeed get the out.
Senior Reese McWilliams set for his 2nd trip to the dish. Last time he was up, he was struck out. Coach Luke Howard now heading out to talk to the umpire.
Yeah, not sure unless Coach Howard was trying to say that there might have been some catcher interference. I'm not sure what that discussion was about, but regardless, we're back to action.
Breaking ball will go outside.
Isaac, I'm up here with you most of the time, but I am going to get our microphone and join you from
McWilliams. He's going to bounce that one high and wrong. Reese McWilliams. He's going to score first for the Tigers, and what a day to do it on senior weekend.
Boy, I was in the middle of saying something, and you could just tell off the bat. Rourke elevated that fastball. Reese McWilliams got it right in the sweet spot. And, man, as soon as that one was off the bat, you could tell that that one had a good chance of ending up on the football practice field. And Reese McWilliams gets his first home run of the season on the first game of senior weekend against Henderson.
Took the fastball and knew exactly where to put it beyond that left field wall. Tigers now lead 1-0, and here's Austin Gathright. He'll look to follow up that big play. He's going to push bunt it off to the left side. Rourke looking for the play made, and that's going to hit off the ankle of Gathright, just a little low.
That's a bad break for Ouachita because Rourke was off balance. He did a nice job coming off the mound and making the play, but he didn't finish it. You could tell when he threw, he was a little bit off balance. The throw was down the line, and if that ball had not hit Austin Gathright, Gathright would have been able to get to second base. And now they're going to come out and look at the ball. Rourke might have twisted something. The umpire's going to. I think this might be an
entire infield.
Well, I think this might have been I thought the umpire was pointing to Rourke like it was a injury situation, but they are marking the. Maybe he was just saying that ball was in play or out of play. Yep. Rourke just kind of looked at Coach Hooten and kind of indicated that when he stepped to the right, something didn't feel right. So if he can't go because there's nobody warming up in the bullpen, they might give the reliever. But not sure if this was an injury called by the umpire. I thought it was initially. But regardless, we're going to be ready to go. What I was saying before McWilliams deposited that one beyond the left field wall, we'll be grabbing our wireless microphone, going around and try to catch some of the fans who have been here, some of our senior families at some point throughout these broadcasts. And so I'll be with you, but it just we'll be on the wireless, see if we can't talk to a few people to join our broadcast throughout the weekend here in a couple of innings maybe, and then in game 2. And then tomorrow is senior day. Have some features that we want to show you on a couple of our seniors, especially Isaac Nowell, who has really, really done a good job of leading this team. He's a 4-year starter, started a lot as a sophomore every game this year and some last year as well. So hope you'll enjoy some of those products done by our students of the Rogers Department of Communications. Ouch.
And takes the shot to the left shoulder, and Bolin, he's going to take his second base of the game.
I think it actually caught him on the wrist or forearm. Not sure if we have a good look at that one or not, but
he is rubbing his left forearm right now.
Yep. So he caught it just on the meat of that forearm. So thankfully it wasn't the bone. We've seen that's why Octavio Mendeville was down there in that first base coach's box talking to him because of what we talked about earlier in the season. So now here we go again, Isaac. Another high leverage situation for Rourke to be pitching in, and he's already given up 1 run with the McWilliams solo shot. So if Ouachita can try to get something going, put pressure on the Reddies, force them to either go into their bullpen here in the 4th. But Rourke has a chance also of throwing 1 pitch to get a double play ball and getting out of it, or if you can keep the batters off balance with good breaking stuff like that, you can bounce back out of this with only giving up 1 run.
Gavin Jacobs here out of the 9-hole. Barring a double play, the Tigers will see the lineup turn over to Isaac Nowell following this.
Gathright does have speed, but would have been a good bunt possibility before 2 strikes were on the board. Third baseman playing way back for Henderson. That's Dylan Block, but would have been different with 2 strikes before there were 2 strikes.
1-2 pitch. Jacobs, he's going to loft that one into left center field. And running forward to make the play that time, left fielder Alex Galvin. So now 2 outs on the board. Isaac Nowell, he'll take to the plate.
Now batting center fielder, Isaac Nowell.
And what an inning it would be if we saw 2 seniors hit 2 sky shots beyond the outfield wall.
I think Isaac now would take a ball to the left center field gap here to score a run, maybe two, but he'd take the home run also.
Now he's going to ground that one over to third, and it's going to get past the infield. Gathright, he's going to scamper and touch home plate. And the Tigers, they've put themselves up by a pair here in the fourth.
It was a hot shot by now, and it kind of caught Block a little bit off guard. He's kind of caught him on his heels a little bit. He tried to kind of field it to the side, and then he'd be able to get the throw across the diamond, but caught him on his heels a little bit, bounced right over the glove. That's going to go as a hit, I believe, because it was a hot shot. I believe that's what it was. And so the Tigers do get an RBI single from Isaac Nowell. And Wesley Scott was trying to make it the second home run of the inning. You know, he's not going to get cheated on his swings. Wesley Scott is not going to get cheated when he takes a hack at a ball. And when he does connect, they tend to go a long way, or they get somewhere really fast.
We've seen Scott make some big hits in some big situations this season.
Nice.
Many of you might remember the walk-off homer he hit just a few series ago here from Rab Rogers Field. Tigers have been in a two-out situation before and have done a lot with it against Southern Arkansas in the midweek game. On Tuesday, they were able to make some scores, and they're going to do it again here. Play unable to be made at home plate, and Boland's going to cross. Tigers now up by a trio with a runner on first and third. And now here's Kendall Cassidy looking to make do with this situation.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting by Wesley Scott. Turned on one, a line drive right at Campbell. Campbell came up firing, but Boland with two outs had a nice jump on it, was able to score, and that's going to be it for Ethan Rourke.
And Rourke finishes off the day with 5 strikeouts and then 3 earned runs in this inning. New pitcher coming out of the bullpen for Henderson State. We'll tell you a little bit more about him when we come back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
And new man on the mound for Henderson State. Following the break, it's going to be number 37, Jack Haley, the lefty senior at Sherwood, Arkansas, coming into Henderson State after transferring from UCA out of Conway, Arkansas. You look a little bit at Haley on the season. He's got a 9.50 ERA, 2-2 in winning decisions, and this will be appearance number 9 for him this year. He's pitched 18 innings, so this is a guy that's gotten some run this season for the Reddies. But we'll see how the Tigers go up against the Southpaw, especially with Kendall Cassidy at bat following this break. Cassidy also a lefty, so a lefty-on-lefty duel. Haley standing 5'10", 150 pounds. Meanwhile, Cassidy, he's batting .367 coming into this game, now an even .360 following his last 2 at-bats. And just looking across the board right now, Chris going to get the microphone so that he can, we can start hearing from some of these fans across the stands on the weekend. You've got 2 teams now, Henderson in a little bit of a different spot than they were coming into this inning. They had it tied at 0-0, but then pitcher Ethan Rourke relinquishing 3 runs to the Tigers, one off the solo home run from Reese McWilliams, and then both Isaac Nowell and Wesley Scott able to pick up some ribbies of their own. And so now play resumes. Haley, he'll be going up against the lefty, Kendall Cassidy. Wesley Scott going for the steal at second, and he's going to grab it. The burglary of second base is good for Wesley Scott, so now move him to 25 stolen bases on the season. He leads the conference in that regard, and it's not even close. The sophomore has the speed to do it, and he's done it many times this year. That one's going to go inside for Cassidy. Cassidy's going to foul that one off behind him. Haley now one strike away from ending off this inning. Meanwhile, Ouachita, 2 runners in scoring position. Cassidy looking for some action here. And he can't get it. The swing and the miss, and Haley, he's going to finish off the inning for Henderson State, but not before they relinquish 3 runs. Ouachita heads into the break with the lead, and Henderson State will look to respond here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
And welcome back to DeLeaf Sregor Bar, or Rab Rogers Field, as it says, not backwards. And leading off the inning for Henderson State will be number 8 out of the 9-hole, Cal Jones. He'll be followed up by Luke Farah and Luke Rice for your 3 to lead off here. Chase Oberly back up on the mound. This is inning number 5 for him. Still no action in the Ouachita bullpen, and that's for good reason. Oberly has gone the distance many times this year. Checking his swing, and rightfully so. That one's going to go outside, so 2-0 count. And Jones, he's going to hit the Texas Leaguer into right field and give himself a base hit. The line drive will elude the glove of Reese McWilliams. Oberly breaking ball will go outside, but that time the fastball goes right down the middle and hits the bottom of the zone. Luke Farah, the 1-hole for this Henderson State team, comes into this at-bat with a .326 average on the year. Oberly's going to check on Jones. Cal Jones leads this Henderson State team in stolen bases with 9 on the year, and he'd very much like to hit double digits here. So Oberly checking on him. Can't find the zone that time. he's going to hit the line drive right past the glove of Garrett Graham and get himself another base hit. Luke Farah. That's his first hit of the contest, and Henderson State, they start off quickly. No outs on the board, runners on first and second. Now Luke Rice, native of North Little Rock. We'll see what he can do. RBI opportunity for him. Now Joseph Bolin, he's going to take a visit to the mound, going to deliver the ball straight to Oberle. Wants to also talk to him, make sure he's composed and ready to go. Now, we'll take a second now to take a look around the Great American Conference. Right now, only one game that we can get stats for going on, and that's Arkansas Tech versus Harding. Right now, the Wonder Boys in the top of the second have a 2-0 lead on the Bisons. So we'll try to give you some updates as they come for that one. Meanwhile here, Oberle ready to go. 0-1 pitch. That one straight to McWilliams. Double play opportunity. And Cassidy scoops it up off the dirt. And the Tigers, they're going to pick themselves up a double play, but still 1 out to go and a runner on third.
Designated hitter, Jeremy Short.
But great placement, great fielding by Reese McWilliams, and then way to finish it off for Wesley Scott. Some contact on the ball, and it's going to get past Cassidy. Henderson State's going to scamper for their first score of the game. Off the base hit that time by Jeremy Shork. Reddy's hit the board for the first time today, and they trail now 3-1. Breaking ball will go low for Oberle to start. That's his first earned run of the game. He'll grab the bottom outside corner that time, so it's a 1-1 pitch here for Oberle. He'll make contact with the ball, and the easy play is made. Wesley Scott to Reese McWilliams, and that'll finish off the inning. Henderson State strikes for the first time today, but Ouachita goes into the break leading 3-1. They'll head back to the plate to add to that here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
In the number 2 position on our top 30 countdown this week, here's In Your Hands. Hey, are you trying to kill us both?
What?
Are you aware that on average there are almost 10 texting and driving deaths each day?
No, that's awful.
Yeah, it is awful, so don't do it. The text can wait.
Thanks.
Anytime. And now...
Remember, the text can wait.
And welcome back to Rab Rogers Field for this Battle of the Ravine contest. Back up on the mound for his first full inning of work, lefty Jack Haley. He's got Garrett Graham leading off for him, followed by Jackson Jester and Reese McWilliams. Haley was able to pick up the final out of the last inning before now 2 outs here will give him his first full inning of work. Garrett Graham, he's got 7 home runs on the season. This guy has been able to elude that outfield wall many times this year. We'll see what he can do in this at-bat. That one's got some power, but it's going to foul off to the left side. Haley delivers that one just a little low. One pitch here for Haley. And Graham, he's going to put it down in left center field, and he's going to take a base hit. Great piece of hitting that time by the junior. He's going to add to his resume on the year and then also give the Tigers their first action here in the 5th inning. Now Jackson Jester, he'll look to advance Graham any way he can. Graham also on the season, 2nd on this Ouachita team in stolen bases. He's 4 for 5 on the year. And first is obviously the GAC leader, Wesley Scott. He's got a miraculous 25. Jester swing and a miss. You see they're just not holding up on that swing. You see a lot of these hitters on this Ouachita team, and when they do make contact with it, it has been successful. So far, Jester today unable to get himself his first hit. He'll take that one as a miss on the inside. Here's Jack Haley, 3-1 pitch. And there's a base on balls for him, his first of the game. So now Ouachita, they take the free base, and Garrett Graham moves into scoring position. Reese McWilliams, he'll take back to the plate. Last time we saw him here, he was able to put that one beyond the outfield wall. But first, head coach Cody Hooten going to go talk to his pitcher, and that's going to be the day for Jack Haley. Moving out of the bullpen is another Henderson State pitcher, but we'll tell you more about him after the break here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
At the time, I just wasn't thinking. I used social media to vent. I wish I would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. The university got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI, and now I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day and look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
Reddies bring in another southpaw here in the 5th inning. This time it'll be number 30, Tyler Bates. He's got a 2.51 ERA on the season. He's made 15 appearances, and he's had 28 2/3 innings of work this season. So if there's a reliever you want to put in right now for Henderson State to keep Ouachita off the board, Bates is one of their better options. He's 1-0 in winning decisions this year. And he's got 31 strikeouts. That's tied for fourth on this Henderson State team. Bates is going to be unable to get the pick off at second, but very close. Umpire checking on the situation. Bates facing off against Gathright. Showing bunt, and that one's going to go wild. Tigers able to scamper to second and third respectively. And so now 2 runners in scoring position with no outs. Ouachita finds themselves in a great position here. Here's McWilliams. We already mentioned last time he was at the plate, he was able to hit a home run beyond that left field wall. Bates, 2-1 pitch here. McWilliams able to foul it off, just shy of putting it fair. If he did somehow get that one down the third baseline, it would have been an advantageous play if it would have eluded the feet of Garrett Graham. 2-2 pitch here for Bates. That one's going to hit the dirt, and Garrett Graham thought about it for a second, but that's a great job to keep it in front of him by Vasquez. Julio Vasquez, the catcher. He'll look over at Garrett Graham and keep him honest over on third. Full count here. Payoff pitch. And swing and a miss for McWilliams, and he's going to head back to the dugout. Tyler Bates, he's going to get 1 out closer to getting himself out of this pinch. Now here's freshman Austin Gathright. The lefty out of Frisco, Texas. He'll look to make something with this situation. Bates with that first strikeout, that'll be his first third of the inning pitch today. Breaking ball finds the zone. And that one's going to elude the catcher. They're going to say he fouled it off. Garrett Graham thought right there he had an extra score. Instead, he'll walk back to third base. Runner still on second and third for Ouachita. Gathright. It's 1-2 in the count. Still just 1 out on the board. Some breathing room for the Tigers. Bates, that fastball is going to go outside. Gathright wisely will hold up. Bates, that one hits the dirt as well, so now it's another full count. Big position here for the Reddies. Bates, payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for Gathright, and that's 2 straight critical strikeouts for Tyler Bates. The Tigers now looking to salvage this great position. 2 outs on the board. Here's Joseph Bolin. He sits right on the Mendoza line at 200 on the season after a big hit last time he was at the plate. And Bates, he'll toss that one low. And breaking ball will break inside just a little too much. And otherwise, hold. They're going to call that one a strike, excuse me. Umpire did not signal it initially, but it's a 1-1 count. And yet again, Bates able to find the zone. It's a 2-1 count here. Tigers, they lead 3-1. Runners on second and third. Bates puts it right down the middle, 1 strike away from getting Henderson State out of a big pinch. Tyler Bates has come in with runners on second and third, and he's kept them right there. Breaking ball's going to go to the outside, maybe just a little bit too wide that time. Bates finds himself in another full count, but the past 2 times he was here, he was able to pick up 2 strikeouts. Another one here would be big for the junior. Bolin able to make contact with it. Easy throw to first is there. Henderson State. They have runners on second and third with no outs. They make the pitcher change, and Tyler Bates able to keep Ouachita scoreless here in the 5th, and that's what's going to send us to a break here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Due up for Henderson State to start off the top of the 6th. Alex Galvin, Julio Vasquez, and Trip Campbell. And they'll be facing off against the old reliable Chase Oberly in his 2nd year for Ouachita. The one-time Great American Conference Pitcher of the Week. Looking to pick up a big rivalry win here in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Meanwhile for Ouachita, there is some movement over in the bullpen. No throwing as of yet. Oberly still fairly young into this game, but with a pitch count of 87. Not sure if head coach Luke Howard wants him to go past triple digits today. Swing and a miss that time. So now 1 strike away is Oberle from getting himself 9 of those in this game.
Stay through it, kid. I'm not.
And the backwards K for Oberle. Give him 9 strikeouts today. 1 more and he hits double digits. Meanwhile, Alex Galvin, he'll head to the dugout. Now up, here's catcher Julio Vasquez. Fastball goes right down the middle. Oberle, he's going to hit 90 on that pitch. Still able to put some speed on his pitches this late into his pitch count. Up to 92 today. It's most likely why you do see that action in the Ouachita bullpen. Oberle, a guy that can go the distance, and we've seen that this season. Coming into this game was second in the Great American Conference in innings pitched. But every single pitcher has their limits, and we'll see where Oberle's is today. That one's going to go high. Oberle looking for yet another strikeout.
Get him right here, 12. Stay through it, kid. I'm now.
And the breaking ball is going to go for a strikeout. Umpire defers to his first base ump, and he says, yep, that's 10.
Right fielder Trip Campbell.
Oberle looking to strike the entire side out here. Now looking down at Arkadelphia native Trip Campbell. The former Badger, that one's going to go down the middle. Wesley Scott able to make the play at first. Tigers force Henderson to go 0-3 in the inning. And Chase Oberle continues his reign up on the mound for now. Well, Chris, we'll send it to you in just a little bit, but I mean, looking at this game, Henderson State, a trail 3-1. Ouachita heading back to the plate. Chris, you got anything about that?
Jim and Britton now, the father and grandfather of senior Isaac now. First, Grandpa, does your arm ever get tired carrying the camera around like that?
No, not at all. This is just a good workout for me. This thing's heavy, by the way.
It is. That's a good size camera. And I was asking before the game, how many pictures do you take how many pictures do you take per game?
Usually about 1,000, 1,500. I've already taken 500 today. So I put it on automatic high-speed shutter, and I can take 120 pictures a second.
Well, that's great. This is senior weekend. This will be Isaac's last weekend playing games. I want to get input from both of you. What has it meant, and what are some of the memories you remember from seeing Isaac play baseball here at Rab Rogers Field for Ouachita over the last few years as a grandfather?
It's just been a thrill to see him play. I've seen his ups and downs, and I'm just so proud of him. And I don't know. I'm just really happy to see him out there playing and having a good time.
Now, Dad, Britton, Isaac's been here through some fun experiences. A lot of some postseason play, some regionals, and as a dad, what some of the memories that you're going to remember when this time comes to a close?
So you remember all the friendships that Isaac's made and the ups and downs. Lots of downs in baseball, lots of them. Baseball's an average, and when you have a good year, you have a lot of strikeouts too. So you remember those. But yeah, it is very sad for us to be finishing up this weekend. Bittersweet. We've had just a great time, and I wish it could go on, but the Lord has something planned for Isaac after this, and we're excited.
visiting with Jim and Britt now, the father and grandfather of Isaac now, the senior. Senior day tomorrow. Senior ceremonies will be around 11:30 at Rab Rogers Field, and we're looking forward to being able to recognize Isaac and the rest of. It's been fun seeing you guys at Rab Rogers Field, and I'm sure you got a couple of good pictures.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
All right, Isaac Bourne, we'll go back up to you after talking to Isaac Now's father and grandfather. Tigers trying to extend a lead.
Thank you so much, Chris. And new pitcher on the mound for Henderson State following that break. This time it's Dawson Goins, the junior out of Benton, Arkansas. You look a little bit into Goins on the season. He's got an 8.14 ERA and 2-2 in winning decisions. So far, 2-0 count. Facing off against Gavin Jacobs. He's leading off the inning before switching the lineup over to Isaac Now, who we just had a word on, and then Wesley Scott will be third. That one will go low for him. Goins with the get me over pitch here. And that one's going to go over the zone. And a base on balls that time for Gavin Jacobs. He'll take the free ride over to first as the lineup turns over. Here's Isaac Now. And we've seen some action from this senior today. He's got 2 hits along with a ribby. Some chin music that time for Now. He's got to watch that one go right past his face. Goins 1-0 pitch. Puts that one right down the middle, and that's going to be his first strike at a blazing 92 miles per hour. Now Henderson moving into what Chris talked about earlier, starting to pitch more by committee. They've got another pitcher warming up over in the bullpen as well. So Goins, he makes their 4th pitcher of the day. And that one's going to elude the catcher, and Jacobs is going to scamper on over to second. When you're pitching against a guy like Isaac Now, Goins trying to make sure that he doesn't give him an easy one, because Now's the guy that can hit some home runs, and he's done that 7 times this year. The time Goins able to find the outside of the zone. Breaking ball gets loose to the outside. So now full count here for Goins. We'll see here what Now makes of it. Payoff pitch. Now he's going to get a hold of it, lofts it over to the right side, and it was playable. Trip Campbell just unable to get the wheels over there in time. That's going to hit the warning track of the Henderson State bullpen. So now he'll make the walk back to the dish. And just a bit of a letdown there for Now, especially. You get some power on the hits and put it into a good position, but just barely can't put it into play. Trip Campbell, if that one was potentially playable, then it would have been most likely a run for Ouachita. with Gavin Jacobs in scoring position. After a bit of a break called by Luke Howard, the head coach for Ouachita will resume here. Full count still. Isaac Nowell trying to win this battle here. It's been a great fight by Dawson Goins. Now he'll put bat to the ball. It's playable from third base. Jacobs, he's going to scamper over to third, and he's going to get tagged out. Coffin corner is going to sink Jacobs, and that's a double play for the Reddies. So now with 2 outs on the board, Wesley Scott looking to salvage this inning and give the Tigers some more action to be happy with. Just missed it. He'll foul it off high behind him. Oh, 1 pitch for Goins. Scott, he'll wisely hold up that time as it goes outside and high. Scott, not a guy that you see hold up on his swings too often. He swings with all he's got at that moment, and that time able to glance that one off the bat behind him. Umpire will defer to the third base ump, but that very clearly was a strikeout and a much needed one for Goins. He's able to keep the Tigers off the board, and they head into the 7th, leading 3-1 here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I'm Attorney Taylor King. For years, you've heard us say we'll be on your side, by your side.
I'm Attorney Austin King. At Taylor King Law, we stand by that promise.
And I'm attorney Maggie King Davis. I'm proud to be a part of a team of dedicated professionals who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side when you need us most.
If you've been injured, contact the Taylor King Law Firm.
And we, and more, will be on your side, by your side.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
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 Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
And back up to start for Henderson State. Here's Nate Moore. He'll be followed up by Cal Jones, and then the lineup turns over to Luke Farah. Chase Oberly still up on the mound. Are some people warming up in the Ouachita bullpen. Most notably looks to be Tag Paco. And Moore. He's going to bound that one out into center field for the base hit.
Back up with you here now, Isaac. Glad to hear from Isaac Nowell's father and grandfather, but Ouachita really had a chance, had some momentum there in the bottom of the inning and just couldn't quite get a run across. Nice play by Henderson of getting the first to third double play and kind of thwarting that. And now Chase Oberly, we're only in the 7th inning, but he's getting around that 100 pitch mark, and it's a warm day, and so this is where those stressful innings or the high pitch innings come back to get you, and you're only able to go into the 7th unless he can have a quick inning here.
Here's Oberle. This pitch right here will be number 100. Instead, he'll check on Moore over at first. Nate Moore, 2 for 3 on the season on stolen base attempts. And pitch number 100 for Oberle is going to elude the strike zone. Two-0 pitch for Oberle. He's going to hit the bottom of the zone. So now he finds himself a comeback strike. We'll see what he can do now. Oberle still pitching with the same type of speed we saw him start off with today. That one at 89 miles per hour. 2-1 pitch here for the senior. Instead, he's going to check on his first base runner.
You mentioned the velocity. You pointed to the screen earlier that exit velo showed 97 there, but that was the ball off the bat. It wasn't Oberle's pitch, but regardless, he has maintained his velocity this late into the game.
Jones, he'll chop at it, foul off to the right side.
Take it that way, kid. Take it that way. Up now.
Jones makes contact with it. Wesley Scott able to make the catch, and he's out at first. Tigers the big play in the field, and Henderson State is off the bases.
That was a great play by Wesley Scott. The ball was about 6 inches from being just over the glove, but he went up, ranged to the second base side of that 6 hole. Nice catch, and then he made the nice throw over to first to double up, and Oberle gets the double play, just maybe not like he was expecting, but he's not going to give it back.
He's going to loft that one off and just out of play. It's going to land beyond the Henderson State dugout.
So now both teams have benefited from an unconventional twin killer. Henderson getting the ground ball out at first and then throw over to third, and Washita there with the line drive that turned into a double play.
Farah, he's going to foul that one off. Very similar position. So now Oberle finds himself in a great position. He's now up to 105 pitches on the game. Looking here to finish off his 7th inning of work. And that's what he's going to do. The backwards K for Oberle puts him up to 11 on the game. And whether that is the end of the day for Oberle or not, he's going to go into the 7th inning stretch happy.
Man, that was locked him up, but just kind of got the breaking ball in the inside part of
Java Primo is the
and
official
we'll take a break.
Coffee House of Washita Tiger football.
Assuming that's what they want us to do, so we'll be right back here on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Washita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who is an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation, with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Washita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Washita and its mission, or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
And back up on the mound is Dawson Goins for Henderson State. Had a slow start, but was able to keep Washita scoreless in that last inning. And so now back up on the mound to continue his tenure. We'll see if he can continue this scoreless run that he's had. He'll face off against Kendall Cassidy, Garrett Graham, and Jackson Jester. And those are the three due up for Washita. Cassidy so far unable to make anything happen as far as hitting goes, but he's been walked once and struck out twice.
Batting for the Tigers, first baseman Kendall Cassidy.
What do you want from Sonic, Isaac?
I'll get me a medium mozzarella sticks.
No, drink.
And probably
drink. We're not
a medium ocean water.
There you go. Medium ocean water. We're not getting you food from Sonic.
Goins. Cassidy. He's going to take that one on the inside. Maybe thought that would have been a little bit of a shave, but instead they're going to call that one a strike. 0-2 pitch here for Goins. Cassidy able to make contact, and that one's going to hit the top of the Washita Fieldhouse. Goins, that one up to 91 miles per hour. Cassidy down the first base line. Just a little too far to the right, though.
Just the inning and a half I was out there, it is toasty. That sun, there's not much cloud cover right now. It is getting toasty out there. I think that might factor in. Oberle's gone 105. This is probably the hottest game we've had. See if he does come out. Payco will be ready to go. But I'll be interested to see. I can see him coming back out and trying. We've seen that several times. We've seen him come out and then see where he can go.
Tag Payco.
I know,
Payco.
That's House. That's House out there warming up in the pen. Coach Howard said last week that the plan was possibly for Oberle to start and House to close and then start game 2, and that may be what the plan was again this weekend.
1-2 pitch for Goins. Cassidy stayed in there, and he'll continue to do that. And originally it did look like Tag Payco was in the bullpen, and I feel like they did that last series as well in game 1 against Northwestern. But that is Luke House now in the Washita bullpen, so Payco, he got some warm-up pitches in. You can tell by his flagship pitching form as Cassidy's going to swing and miss and get the first strikeout of the inning.
They're both about as tall as you are, so they're kind of easy to mistake until they make a pitch. Then the pitching motion is significantly different.
Now here's Garrett Graham. So far today, he's gotten 1 hit and then been struck out. Breaking ball goes down, but a little too far inside that time for Goins. Henderson State, they do have someone warming up in the bullpen if need be. Graham, he's going to fire that one into shallow center field and take a base. And Garrett Graham just continuing the production this season. And right there, he's going to put himself on the base and into play. Tigers now up to 9 hits in this game. They've out-hit the Reddies 9-6. And Jackson Jester, he'll step up to the plate. So far in today's game, he's been walked and then grounded out twice. And Graham just barely able to get back to first. That one a little too close for comfort for the Tigers. Graham
and I don't know if that was going what you consider best move. It was a quick move, but the velocity on the throw was indicating I'm just trying to keep you honest. But that was a lot closer, so you may see him come with there. Well, there's a lot quicker one with more velocity, and Graham was getting back a little bit quicker on that one.
Graham is second on this team in stolen bases on the year with 4. And Chris, we already mentioned number 1 on this team, is also number 1 in the GAC. Wesley Scott's got 25 of those things. Oh, 1 count here for Jester. And the breaking ball drops down to the bottom of the zone, and Jester just watches it go by. Going to check on Graham, and every single one of these pickoff moves has been close. Garrett Graham playing things very risky right now, but so far has yet to pay for it.
They get closer and closer. Rice thought he had that one. Good moves from Goins.
Goins, that one goes low. And Chris, how much of this is just the mind games between a guy like Graham and also the pitcher in Goins?
Yeah, and plus some of it is with the batter. You never know, do they fall asleep in there? Do you try to come back with something that will lock them up? And that's what happened there. The fastball comes in from Goins and catches him. So the pitcher maintaining control of the situation, trying to keep the runner close and the batter uncomfortable. And Goins won that situation right there.
So now 2 outs on the board. Tigers in a rally situation if they want to score. McWilliams will swing and miss. Earlier connected on the solo home run. That one's going to hit the dirt, and Garrett Graham's going to scamper for a base. So now Ouachita in scoring position. Reese McWilliams with an RBI chance here. And McWilliams, he's going to put that one down out in left field.
Yeah, good piece of 2-out hitting by Reese McWilliams. It was too hard actually, right at the left fielder, not able to score the runner from second because of the placement of that to hit. But still, nevertheless, base hit, you put pressure on. Now you have a runner at third, and that wild pitch that you had a second ago ends up being a run for Ouachita with a good read.
And the laser for Reese McWilliams is going to put runners on first and third, and Austin Gathright hoping to make something of it as Ouachita eclipses the double-digit mark in hits on the game.
I believe that's 10 of the last 12 games where Ouachita has done that.
We already talked about it, but this Ouachita team improving in the hitting game all season, now up to this point where they find themselves in a hitting battle with one of the best hitting teams in the Great American Conference. Goins able to find it on the inside. And Dawson Goins, he's found himself in this position before. 0-2 count. That last pitch at a blazing 92 miles per hour. We've seen him throw some heaters today. Gathright He'll make contact with it, and he cannot pick it up.
That's a killer for the pitcher. Goins did what he needed to do. It was an easy ground ball to a lazy ground ball to Cal Jones at shortstop. He had a chance, an opportunity to either step on the bag or throw, and he just came up. You saw him when he fielded that ball. He just came up too far, came up too early, and the ball went right under his glove. That's an unearned run that'll go on Goins, and it extends the inning. So you add to the lead, but now you have another run in scoring position, so in one more base hit could mean another run for the Tigers, and neither one of them should have happened.
Reddies pick up their first error between either team this game on just the bobble that time by shortstop Cal Jones. Ouachita leads 4-1 now. And like we mentioned, runner in scoring position with Bolin here at the dish.
If you're Ouachita, you sure would like to get greedy here and just go ahead and scratch another one across if you can.
Tigers lead by a trio, 4-1. Catcher Bolin so far today. He's grounded out, been hit by a pitch, and then also picked up a hit in his first at-bat. That one will go outside.
There's one pitcher standing in the Henderson bullpen looking, and I think he just got the signal from the dugout. The bullpen's starting to get moving, so they are going to get another one loose for the Reddies.
Puts it right down the middle.
You know
now full count for Goins. Everything is full. Two outs, 2 strikes, 3 balls.
The good thing about this for Ouachita is they'll be off with the pitch, so anything to the outfield most likely will be Burson will be sending the runner with the runners going on the pitch. Nice pitch by Goins.
And Goins able to get out of the inning, but not before the Henderson State defense allows a run, and now Ouachita leads by 3 heading into the 8th here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Head coach Luke Howard going to the bullpen and making a house call, bringing upon the services of senior right-handed pitcher Luke House. Looking at House on the season, usually a starter, and now in this new system that Coach House is bringing on, he will also close or relieve right now for Oberle.
Not quite a coach yet, but he's just a relief pitcher. But Coach Howard is going to Luke House, and I do think it's not out of the question, depending on how many pitches he throws, that we might see him start game 2. I know that was the plan last week, that it is unconventional. Didn't work out that way last week, but it could. Obviously, we won't know for a while, but Luke House called upon. He did have a save last week. He's the reigning GAC pitcher of the week. I think we have a graphic there with Luke at the GAC pitcher of the week and the regional pitcher of the week. There you get a good look at Luke House. So he had 1 save and a win last week, and Coach Howard has called upon him to do the same thing, at least the save part of that, this weekend.
Standing 6'6", 185, native of Decatur, Texas. House on the year. He's got a 4.46 ERA, picked up 65 strikeouts, and he's pitched 66 and 2/3 innings. House also has been, last season especially and this season as well, has been that 7-inning game pitcher for Ouachita. He starts off 1-1, going up against the 2-hole Luke Rice. And Chris, I wasn't saying anything wrong when I said he stands 6'6", just a mountain of a pitcher up there, up on the mountain of the mound.
Yeah, he and Payco both a little bit of size there. House 6'6", 185. Payco 6'4", 200. Luke Rice has to step out and get something out of his eye. It's a big matchup. Velocity on the mound, power at the plate.
And Rice, earlier today, he was the man that did take a cleat to the face over at first base from Wesley Scott. So no shame there in making sure he's okay. They'll foul that one off, so now the count sits 2-2.
Luke House, Luke Rice, the whole crowd saying, let's go, Luke. That one came in at 92 upstairs, so now full count.
Full count. And House able to get him swinging that time. So now that's his first strikeout on his first batter seen today, and he'll face off against the 3-hole now in Jeremy Short.
You get a good look at the numbers last week from Luke House. Game 1 had the 2/3 of an inning, got the save, got the win in Game 2, and some good career numbers there from Luke House. His 4th year at Ouachita. He's trying to get a save for Ouachita here in the Game 1 of this series, and he got one power hitter out in Luke Rice on the strikeout, but now another one comes up and he's behind in the count 2-0.
Ooh. Shork, he's going to power that one.
That one almost caught Mr. Nowell down there, and and Rachel Dunn operating our camera. Thank you for coming to help us, Rachel, and I'm glad that net's in front of her. That was a shot. He turned on that one.
House today looking for his second save. Shork's going to power that one over to the right side and deep into right field. And great effort that time by Gavin Jacobs. He'll fall onto the warning track but make the throw, and Shork is just going to make that one a base hit.
That is a single. That had double off the bat. Shork doesn't have the speed to get there, especially with a play like that. A nice play off the hop and getting that ball back in quickly, very quickly by Gavin Jacobs. And so now if you turn one over, you can get out of the inning if your defense helps you out.
Breaking ball for House is going to go right down the middle, going up against Dylan Block, the junior out of Harrison, Arkansas.
Do you know the mascot for the Harrison High School?
It's like the Devils or something.
The or something part is right. That was a nice breaking ball from House.
I know it's something
I'm gonna
wild.
let you think of it. I'll let you think of it. Now you wonder if House will come back with the fastball. He's had a couple of off speed. That one was at 75. Does he try to go upstairs and get a strikeout here with velocity? Ooh. It was a nice take. It was a fastball. He did come back with the velocity, but it was just too far off the plate. Bolden was set up outside. It was a good 0-2 pitch from House.
Fans not happy with the call, but nevertheless, House will have the 1-2 pitch here. Looking to retire batter number 2 today. And the breaking ball is going to force him to swing and miss. And Luke House, another foreclosure for Henderson State.
I might evict you for that one.
Chris, just trying to beat me on the dad jokes, and I mean he's got me beat so far. On the inside, that one will be a little too far inside. Facing off against Alex Galvin. And Luke Howard, he'll bound out to the mound just to make sure that his pitcher is doing all right.
That was a quick jog. It's either a stick to the plan, don't try to do too much.
No arms getting ready in the Ouachita bullpen as of now.
Yeah, you could tell the way he jogged out there. That was going to be a quick visit, and he jogged right back, and House is ready to go. There you see the net there on the left of your screen. Rachel behind the net. Safety first. Protect the camera. Protect the people.
And that one's going to go right into the same spot. And taking 2 bases that time is short. Not enough to score, but deep into scoring position are the Reddies.
Yeah, both of the lefties in the lineup have been able to turn on the fastball from House and put it almost into the exact same spot. With 2 outs, Shork was going to be off on contact, so he was going to be able to get 2 bases and put him 90 feet away from cutting into this lead if Vasquez can put one in play.
The catcher, Vasquez, we'll see what he does against House here. Breaking ball goes high and inside. That time he finds it a little bit further inside for a strike.
You know, we're in the top of the 8th. This is a big at-bat for both teams. If Ouachita can maintain that 3-run lead, Henderson, if they can cut into it and make anything, just get it to the next batter. Fans wanted that one again, Isaac, but I think Bolin was set up outside on both of those pitches that the Ouachita fans wanted. He hit the target, but the target was set up outside.
House, here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss for Vasquez. And so now Tigers 1 strike away from getting themselves out of this pinch.
That's where the batter's going to be guessing. He could come back with some velocity. He has a pitch to spare, but that breaking ball, Vasquez wasn't close. He started it up and broke off the plate.
Breaking ball's going to lock him up on the inside, and Vasquez visibly irate walking back to the dugout.
He didn't like it, but each pitcher has had that inside breaking ball called for a strike most of the game. He's been very consistent on that outside, inside part of the plate. None of the batters have liked it, but it's been there all game.
And with that, Tigers go into the bottom of the 8th, and we'll see what they can do from the dish here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
And the flag flying out in the outfield here in Rab Rogers Field. Just a slight breeze today. Nothing noticeable enough to carry the ball anywhere, but for Henderson State, a new man on the mound. This time it's Ryan Galvin. the senior pitcher out of Texarkana, Texas, brother of Alex Galvin, the sophomore out of Texarkana. So we'll see what he can do here today. Looking a little bit into number 27, Ryan Galvin. On the season, he's got a 9.00 ERA, 1-1 in winning decisions. He's made 10 appearances. This will be number 11, and he's pitched 22 innings, so he's had his fair share of time up on the mound, and today he'll be yet another pitcher as part of this committee for the Reddies.
Batting for the Tigers, right fielder Gavin Jacobs.
Gavin Jacobs will bat first out of the 9-hole before the lineup turns over to Isaac Nowell and Wesley Scott. Native of Bossier City, Louisiana, Gavin Jacobs was a big part in the right field last inning.
Did you look up the Harrison mascot during the break, or were you so excited about House's strikeout?
The latter. I wasn't able to find the Harrison.
Good. We can be excited. We're not impartial broadcasters. That's a nice hit.
And Jacobs, is that one going to get down? It won't. Trip Campbell, you've got to credit the right fielder that time, laying out for the catch, and that's the first out of the inning for Henderson State.
That was a tremendous dive, tremendous jump on that ball by Tripp. Gavin Jacobs went the other way with it and looked like it was going to get down, but Tripp got a nice read on it, made a nice diving attempt, and came up with that one. Big catch, good catch that time by Tripp Campbell. There you get a good look at the red shirt freshman.
And Chris there, just a little bit of pride from the former coach of Campbell back in the day, and you see a guy that you've seen me play since he was younger. I'm sure that there's a little bit of pride for him as well.
He could have done that last week or next week. He didn't have to do it this weekend. Nah.
Nevertheless, that's going to be the first out of the inning. Second one coming if he can make the throw, and that's what happens. Cal Jones able to make the pickup and make the throw over to first, and that's 2 outs.
That was a not much better job by Jones of staying down on the ball. You saw him almost over-exaggerate staying down. Wasn't going to come up too early this time. He stayed down, and they made a nice hard throw across the diamond to get Speedy Isaac now.
2 outs on the board. Ouachita. We'll see what Wesley Scott can do here. Scott bounds it out into left field, and it's going to ricochet off the wall as he takes 2.
We don't have the TrackMan and all that to measure the exit velocity like they do at some of the SEC parks, but that was a shot. That was a line drive. Left fielder out in Henderson for Henderson State, Galvin, kind of had a read on it, but then he knew he was going to have to drop that right foot, and it was just a nicely hit ball, well struck right off the barrel, and he knew he had 2 right off the bat, and then it was a nice job of playing it off the wall. It's a corrugated fence out there, so every once in a while, if it goes off the wall, it catch one of those ridges, it can bounce funny, but they did hold him to 2, but that was a nicely solid struck ball by Wesley Scott, and now you come up with 2 outs. Ouachita has done a nice job of getting things done with 2 outs. We saw that last weekend, talked to Coach Howard after the series, and he said 2-out hitting is key. And we'll have to look it up, but Ouachita has done a tremendous job getting things going with 2 outs. I think in that 4th inning when they scored 3, a couple of those were with 2 outs as well. One of them shouldn't even happen because of the error.
Yep. Cassidy will take that one low, but the Tigers
Isaac.
in this game, they've taken advantage so far of this Henderson outfield. They've put it just beyond the gloves of this Henderson State outfield, who sometimes they'll be playing up a little high. And you saw Jacobs do it earlier in this game, and then Scott does exactly the same thing here. That one will go outside.
Yeah, Galvin trying to get Cassidy to go fishing on the 0-2 pitch.
Just one strike away from getting themselves out of this inning, and that's exactly what he'll get. Galvin going to force Cassidy to swing with no contact, and Tigers lead 4-1. 1 inning left to go for Henderson State to possibly bring themselves back into this one. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of bats and signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, bats and signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, bats and signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, bats and sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Luke House in line for the save here. If he can get 3 more outs along with this Ouachita defense, they'll face off first against number 21, Trip Campbell. And then following up him will be Nate Moore and Cal Jones due up in this inning. Oh, 0-2 count for House, looking to retire Campbell early here. Campbell, he'll wisely hold up that time as the breaking ball will go high. The velocity on that one, 89 miles per hour, but can't hit the zone. So now count is even. Umpire will defer to his third base ump, and he's going to say he checked his swing in time, put it below the zone that time, so not in the right spot for a strike. Count is full. Campbell, he's going to loft that one high into the left side, and Gathright there to make the play.
Nice job by Gathright. You saw there as the camera went to the left, not a ton of room in foul territory once you get down to the final 40 or 50 feet of the outfield here at Rab Rogers Field. The bullpens are foul territory, but once you get to that foul line, you only have about 6 or 7 feet. That ball was fair, but still, you're getting close, and that warning track is approaching.
House, the 91 mile per hour heater, hits the zone on the inside for Nate Moore. And he does it again on the breaking ball. Luke House just continuing to make these first 2 pitches exactly what he wants. Now the game begins for House, trying to get the hitter to bite on one more. Change up that time a little high. Even 2-2 count. Here's the senior. That one is gonna sky off to the right side and past the Henderson State bullpen. Locks him up on the inside, and Luke House 1 out away from sending Henderson State back to the drawing board.
For about 30 minutes.
For about 30 minutes, and then we'll be right back
Yeah.
for the second game of this series. That's why I didn't want to say back home, because they got to go play one more game after this as Cal Jones takes the strike right in the middle.
Yeah, you always want to win the first game of a series, and the Tigers are 2 strikes away from doing that. And now 1.
Luke House continues to make those first 2 pitches of every count,
Yeah,
literally.
Absolutely. Isaac, all 3 batters in this inning is on 0-2.
And House, that one a little high and outside, checked his swing just in time at 93 miles per hour.
Yeah, if our radar is accurate, and it's usually pretty close, that one had some heat.
Luke House gonna defer to his third base ump, and at this point you want to defer to him at every chance you get. The game in the balance here. The next pitch could be the last. Here's House. And it's sold down the middle. Tigers pick up a Game 1 win here from Rab Rogers Field.
Final score, game number 1 of today's doubleheader, Ouachita 4, Henderson State 1. And stick around, game number 2 will be in approximately 45 minutes.
Tremendous job by the Tigers. Coach Howard and Coach Hooten talk. They get the plan for the umpire. I believe we're going to try to catch Coach Howard before our stream ends and before he heads to the dugout and clubhouse to get ready for game 2. But the Tigers move into a tie for 5th place in the GAC now with that game 1 win over the Reddies. Now the game 2, the 7-inning game, becomes one that Ouachita is going to try to win the series. Henderson State will try to force a rubber match, but it is the 9th time in the last 11 games that Ouachita has had double-digit hits. And today, all it took was 3 runs in the 4th inning. Chase Oberle gets the win for the Tigers. Luke House gets his 2nd save in as many opportunities in as many weeks. And so it's a good one for the Tigers to get things started. And Isaac, take a look at the final line score there. Henderson State 1 run on 8 hits with 1 error. And that error didn't cost the game by any means. It only gave Ouachita 1 insurance run in the 7th. But it did make it a 3-run lead instead of 2. Ouachita 4 runs on 11 hits, no errors. And there you see Coach Howard talking to the team in the dugout. And after they do have a chance to visit, we'll try to get the microphone into Coach Howard. Last week when I talked to Chase Oberle in game 2 of the doubleheader, you were able to do Thursday, I did Friday, and he said, I said, Chase, tell me what the mentality is. He said, well, the mentality is to go 1-0 every game. Well, they went 1-0 in game 1 last week, and they were trying to go 1-0. You can get wrapped up into, all right, if we win this one, we're going to go win the series. But you can't look at that, and things get so big, you can't do anything about that. If you can make the next pitch, the next at-bat, the next out, the next whatever, they end up meaning you can go 1-0 in a game, and that's what the Tigers did. So, yeah, good win for the Tigers. Talk about the pitching staff. Chase Oberle, Luke House. I would imagine that Luke House would start game 2. He threw doesn't have right here. We'll have to pull up the box. So he threw a few pitches, but I think that was kind of the plan. I believe Coach Howard is going to join us now after he gets things turned on. Henderson State 1 run on 8 hits, 1 error. And Ouachita 4 runs on 11 hits with no errors. Coach Howard, are you with us now?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Coach, congratulations. You get the game 1 victory. Doesn't mean anything. It means you won 1 game. But I think last week we talked about 2-out hitting. And today it was with 2 outs where you're able to put things together and get some runs on the board. It's the 9th time in the last 11 games, I believe, that your team has had 10 or more hits. The bats are coming on at the right time of the year.
Yeah, these guys are swinging it, and, arguably we could have got the 10 runs in that game, but they got some dudes on the mound. You just got to keep fighting. But We got some dudes on the mound, too.
You sure do. Let's talk about a couple of those. Chase Oberly, we talked about at the beginning of the year, of the day. Chase Oberly, this will be his last mound appearance. Maybe. He could be back here in a couple of weeks. We take that. But talk about what Chase has brought to the table. It's not been just this game. I say a lot of times you say, well, are we going to get good pitcher or bad pitcher? I don't think we've had any bad outings from Chase. He's just been consistent all year long. And he went into the 7th again today, went over that 100-pitch mark, and really battled on some of those innings early where he had to get out of a couple of jams. I believe that was in the 3rd.
Yeah, I told him that's a grinder outing right there. He didn't have his best stuff. But, getting through 7 innings when he was at 73 pitches, I believe, through 4 innings. And, he was wanting to go back out there, but that's a lot of pitches to throw. And I told him, we'll see you next Thursday up in Enid. But, man, that's a grinder outing. And he got the team up right here and told him, let's get this done today.
Coach, congratulations. We'll let you get on and get planned for Game 2, and we'll be back, see if the Tigers can't get him a series win here in Game 2 in about 30 minutes.
You got it. Thank you.
The victorious Ouachita head coach Luke Howard joins us as the Tigers defeat the Henderson State Reddies 4-1 in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Isaac, job well done. The house was sold.
And for sure
I
was.
I caught you on that one, didn't I?
But for now, this has been Isaac Bourne and Chris Babb. Thank you for joining us for now, and make sure to join us in just a few minutes right here from beautiful Rab Rogers Field.
Before I do, this is the last time that I believe that we will have our 2 seniors. We've got 2 more games. Priscilla Leverett and Chloe Velleman are our seniors. The 2 seniors in our OSDN program that are graduating in 2 weekends. 2 weekends when they graduate. And this is the last time they'll be working together. Chloe can't be here for Game 2. Priscilla can't be here tomorrow. So I wanted to put that up there. Almost 400 OSDN broadcasts during their time as students. You guys do a ton of work, a ton of hours. I know it's appreciated by those who watch. So I wanted to add a personal thanks to Chloe and Priscilla.
And from me, I'll also give a little bit of a thanks. I've got something prepared for both of them at different points in the weekend, but for now, just thank you to both of them for, being great mentors to the rest of our team and being great leaders this year as the 2 of our directors. But for now, we'll send it out, but make sure to come right back in just a few minutes as we'll be live for Rab Rogers Field for another 7-inning game here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Hi, everybody. This is John Fanta with Fox Sports and the Big East Digital Network.
Hi, this is Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky with the Chicago Bulls, our flagship station, 670 The Score.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN. This is Tom Hart at ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.